Hey there, folks. Looks like this time I am USSR against aeromathematics in the Souls +3 league. So, 4-4-1 setup. I've got NATO, which is splendid. I can ditch CIA before I expand, ideally. Asia scoring if I can try and score it cheap. That actually makes the Iran coup more attractive, obviously. Let's hope he doesn't have Marshall Plan. Since I have Warsaw Pact. So I've got a route plan for turn 1. Yeah, Metallic here has a near 1600 rating. He's about 2/3 win rate as USSR, and a 1/3 win rate as USA. So it looks like he's picked the weaker side in inverted commas, but obviously USA+3 I still think favours the USA. We'll see how he opens. So he's opening 4-4-3, which makes the Iran coup still more attractive. I could ditch Asia scoring now for a point, but a strong coup with Iran may give me the opportunity to expand in there and score more. I have Arab-Israeli war as my other headline in the absence of Asia scoring. Asia scoring, I mean, it's just at the moment, it's more likely to score me than him. So, we'll try for Arab-Israeli war and to coup Iran rather than Italy. Well, this time, you're the star. So let's open Arab-Israeli war and be aggressive on the Middle East. If I see Middle East scoring, c'est la vie. So he's containing. The success in the Middle East is good for me. So we'll start with a nice strong coup of Iran. That's about as strong as they come. Good start, good start. He opened containment. He coups back. Pretty strong. So now I coup back with Warsaw Pact, and I genuinely hope I don't roll a 1. Okay, that's pretty good for me, because obviously it clears out the Middle East. So now I seek so I'll probably pop 2 at Afghanistan to develop into Pakistan. And obviously I'll play CIA this turn, because he's not going to be playing D-Style. Okay, so he's looking to avoid the 50-50, which he does. So he takes South Korea. I need to play Asia scoring now, if he can develop. So now I need to push into Syria, Iran, Egypt. But obviously ditching CIA is pretty hot here. So, Honours shared in Asia's fine. He won't have any scoring cards if he's playing C5 so soon. Domination of Asia doesn't matter right now because it's just been. So, I'm playing 2 into... Let's see. He encourages him to play NASA, So I'll pop 2 in Iran. And I'll pop 1 into Syria to get domination. So he's already pushing into Angola as well. I mean, that's nice because it just gives me a nice soft coup target. I mean, I would take Panama at the beginning of turn 2 with Iran the way it is. So I'm looking for De Gaulle, duck and cover, ideally for next turn. So he's UNIing socialist governments, which suggests he's got D-style. Okay, he's taking France, but we know he doesn't have Europe scoring. Alright, so, I'm prepared to show him my hand. It's not that exciting. Let me get CIA out the deck. It seems weird, but I may space Formosa since he's already ahead of the game in Asia. Oh boy, he's romping away. He's trying the other gateway into. So at this point, actually taking Pakistan is more attractive because I need to push into India, and I want to hold defectors as long as possible. This is where it turns out he has Indo-Pakistani war, and I'm offering him a soft 1/3. So he'll push into India. Oh no, so he's offered me another coup target, which is kind of weird. So I've got duck and cover. Suez is fairly attractive because of France being the way it is. And I've got nuclear test ban for a strong coup of the Middle East. So we'll go Suez and make him shore France back up. He's going for Indo-Pak, which is standard there. So I need a nice strong coup of Libya. So the 1 in 3 fails. But I've got to offer him India because I want to try and coup him out of Libya. And all I do is clear him out. So he should take Libya straight back. And if he does, I play independent reds into Egypt to stop the advance. I mean, that's his. He should do that because of the risk of. Asia's already scored. Yeah, fine. And 1 into India as well. So I'm prepared to give him India for now, and I take Egypt. And obviously, he's got an incentive to play NASA now. So it's a shame I can't score presence-less domination in the Middle East, but I would hope to claim it. My opponent is on the east coast of the USA. You may have surmised. So anyway, thanks for those who've watched the game against Yemovich. Obviously, the result belied the fact that he had me over the cosh from the get-go. So yeah, obviously NASA's the obvious play there, by virtue of the fact that I've already claimed it. He should press India. But actually, now's a good time, with CIA gone, for me to play the China card, for two reasons. One, it takes India. Two, it makes Pakistan less takeable. And three, he now has to play into Taiwan and not play the China card to claim domination. So it's not the worst time to play it. If you're going to find a time to play it, that's a pretty good time. So I'm going to score Middle East. I'm going to hold defectors to turn 3, because then I know none of my mid-war headlines are going to be affected. And I may try and space duck and cover, because obviously right now the 2-0 swing in the space race is attractive. I mean, this is the point where he events captured Nazi scientist and makes me look like a complete prat, but, you know, there we go. Yeah, the Z game was fun, but, I mean, he's obviously very strong and played really well. Turn 10 was completely wacky, but the game shouldn't have made it that far. You know, 9 times out of 10, he trips the victory tracker before then, or he draws war games, and the game is over. So yes, it was fun, and it looked a lot more seductive than the true tempo of the game was. So next turn, assuming DEFCON doesn't drop, a strong coup of Algeria is attractive because of the prospect of getting into France, but he's just made that more difficult. So we're going to try spacing duck and cover. Fail. Never like to see that. Leave the door wide open. Okay, so will he get the 2? He does. Happy days for him. But it puts Decol back into the deck for turn 3. So that's kind of good news for me in a way, actually. It's nice that he's done that for me. Okay, so he gives me the goal, but then he'll pump the 3 into France, obviously. So I might as well... I'm going to pop 2 into France. So I know Truman Doctrine's still to come out, but I didn't have another strong option for turn 3. He may break an Asian country's claim domination in the hopes it comes back out, but I want to make France competitive. If he doesn't get to Truman Doctrine before I get a chance to put ops in there, so much the better for me. We've not seen Red Scare. Yeah, so obviously he pumps it again. So, I get Red Scare, which I can use to purge him. I unfortunately can't quite get to France, so the question is whether or not I... So the sensible thing to do is to play Europe scoring immediately and get it out the deck. On the other hand, I get the option of causing trouble elsewhere around the board if I purge him, and he's holding blockade. So let's purge him, because I have defectors. He does get Truman Doctrine, so now I want to try and hold Europe scoring. So a coup with Marshall Plan and then pumping 4 into West Germany is quite attractive. Not that one. That one. We'll take Panama. And hell. I know Africa's a problem. And it might come out in turn 4. So in retrospect, that might be stupid. But we'll run with it. In theory, he should be smart and overprotect West Germany here. but he's holding D-Star, which he can no longer do. So we saw US-Japan, we saw nuclear test ban, we've seen Purge, we've seen NATO, we've seen Marshall. So he needs to have redrawn a 4-op card here. So it's a good time to pump West Germany. So he should overprotect, which he doesn't do. Okay, fine. So we'll use NATO and start ploughing into West Germany. Because he needs a 4-op card here to maintain it. But then he knows he'll lose it. He's got one. So he's going to challenge, even though he's holding blockade. So I'll keep challenging, although it's getting easier and easier for him. I wouldn't mind him giving me up the China card. Because he needs a 3-op card now, and we know he's holding D-Style. So he does give up the China card. That's good for me, because that means that Asia can't be taken now. So he overprotects, and at that point, I am done. So where else can I cause trouble? Yeah, well, you're going to get it. So I'll event Romanian abdication on turn 5. So he needs a 3-op card to take UK or Canada to maintain domination. So he's going for it. I'm going to keep him under pressure. It just means he's not developing the rest of the board. Plus he's given me Fidel here. I can live with that. Alright, so Europe scoring has to be scored. It's a bummer, but I got the China card back. I mean, he's gone into the mid-war looking fairly good. Africa being scored would be a bit of a disaster. I kind of want to see Liberation Theory come out. So we know he's holding D-Style and blockade, and captured Nazi scientist. So he's going to then capture Nazi scientist here, obviously. When he's spacing D-Style, he's keeping CNS. So I'm hoping for one small step. So I get Africa scoring. That's great. We will bury you because European intervention's gone, and then ABM treaty to have my coup. So that seems fairly attractive. OAS founded is crap. I can use Arman in Tehran to break Libya and deny him to discard. So what's my plan? We will bury you is good, because if he mistakes and plays the Defcon dropper, that's good for me too. Shame I drew Lone Gunman, but we'll go with We'll Bury You, because I've got Missile Envy. Yeah. So, Power Cards. Brush War hasn't come out, Salt hasn't come out, Junta hasn't come out. But I got 2 of the 5 power cards at the start of turn 4, which is lovely. So we'll start with a coup of Zaire. And then use Cuban Missile Crisis to flip Angola, ideally. So let's get that coup of Zaire. And let's hope he does not have Brush War, because that would be not nice. He may try headline peaking if he gets another space off. No, one small step for me is a bit of a bummer. Can't be helped. Obviously, I know I'm getting my 3 points from We Will Bury You, which is lovely. So that levels the game up. So I get a VP. And I get my 1. So he overprotects, sensible. So at this point, giving him Africa domination seems like the best bet. Before he can do something to deny me presence. Not happy about it, but I'm not going to score any more there. So I might as well get it out of the deck. So those 5 cards are my play. I'll use Arman in Tran to break Libya because I don't want him peeking and ditching. It's a shame I didn't get Liberation Theory, because I've kind of presence-less control of Central America's 9 points, so that's nice. Was it 10 points, I suppose? I think it's 9 for control because of adjacency. Anyway, there's a lot of cards to come out. We didn't see grain sales, so I think I'm okay at the moment. Voice of America is obviously a problem. While I'm holding China, Assyria is less of a problem. But we'll just keep watching. Got to watch out for Junta and Salt. Anyway, I mean, Asia's level pegging now, and I'm holding the China card, so I don't need to worry about that. I need to watch out for puppet governments, because South America's a big risk. Middle East is sitting pretty, but I want to put one into Libya with a MIT, because then if he Sadats me, I still have access. Oh, joy. So he's got access to Panama, so now's a good time to try and realign him out of Venezuela. And I get 3 shots at it. Come on, 3rd time lucky. Yes! That'll do. That'll offer him an AR-7 play into Colombia, obviously. Okay, so that was lucky, but obviously puppet governments is still a major problem. I've got OAS at least, so it could be worse. We'll put 1 in Libya. That means that it doesn't activate, so it's coming back in late war. But it could be worse. Okay, so AR-7, I want to play into Nicaragua and Haiti to fight against realignments, but also because it means I then have domination in Central America, and if he does play into Colombia, it's a trade-off. So, you know, either way, I want to get Lone Gunman back in the deck beforehand as well. The question is, what else do I want to do now? I want to try and gain some more territory in the Middle East for OPEC. So popping a couple into Iraq's not a big deal. So he's starting to pump Southeast Asia for the scoring there. So, yeah. A couple in Iraq. OPEC's now worth 3. That's the kind of... I don't like playing OPEC as USA for 3 or more. So I'm starting to dissuade him from using OPEC. 3 ops to 2 BPs, reasonable. More, it starts to get a little gross to play. He currently doesn't have access to Afghanistan, which is a VP for adjacency, so I don't need to worry about that too much just yet. But yeah, Southeast Asia is going to score pretty well for him. I mean, if I'm lucky, I get a brush war of Thailand at 50-50. It would be nice to draw brush war for that purpose, but that can't be guaranteed. I may only put 1 into Nicaragua or Haiti in AR-7. with lone gunmen and use missile envy to break Libya again, because I kind of want to keep the Middle East under pressure. I've turned the thermostat off, still need to turn it back up. Just answering questions of frigidity in the house. Okay, so, I mean, he's signalling he holds Southeast Asia scoring, but if he's got that, he ought to do it soon. I'm going to pump another one into Libya. I kind of want to keep the Middle East under pressure, because obviously it's 3 VP present. It's the big... That's the place you want to be. You want to be in the Middle East. I mean, one assumes you will always be in Europe. Losing presence in Europe is a disaster for either side. So outside of Europe, the Middle East is the place you want to have a foothold. Okay, so he's going to blockade away something he doesn't like the look of. So AR-7, I'm going to pop one in Haiti. And I'm going to say, okay, if you want Colombia, you've got to give up Middle East, Central American domination. Which isn't a bad trade. If he coups here, he gets his mill ops, but doesn't get into Colombia. So it's a trade. And it's a fairly straight trade. But he has brush war. Bummer. Panama flips, so he gets that place. Lucky him. But I have junta. Which is nice. So, Muslim Revolution's also attractive, because it kicks him out of the Middle East, but of course Sadat lets him back in. Duck and cover's a risk, so I need to ditch that. But we will start with junta. And I'll coup with it, because that basically frees me up to do other stuff, even though it's not a strong coup. He may grain sales me, of course. But either way, I'd rather him grain sales me and not pull junta. So that kind of looks like my headline. And he's still not peaking. So Salt is the last remaining card we are expecting to see in the power card play. So I'm looking for grain sales and VOA. Those are the ones without extensive tracking that I'm looking for. Puppet government is a risk, as I've noted. If I can flip Mexico with junta, that's a delight, and I seek to score Central America straight away. Okay, great. So junta into Venezuela gives me points. That's why you don't headline a scoring card. And we'll try couing Mexico a third of the time he stays put. This time I clear him out. So I'll also claim Central America for a VP as well. So if I see Sadat, I put 3 into Egypt straight away. I kind of want to hold Muslim Revolution till I see that, obviously. So I'll play Alliance for Progress for 1 VP. So he gets to peek at headlines. So I'm going to coup at Tunisia as well. That's good. So that denies him domination currently, gets me Milop so I can play arms race for 3 VP. That's a good trade with less development requirements on the board. I'd genuinely love to see Sadat. Right now, Sadat is such a good play for me, and he would be thinking, oh, Sadat's a really good play for me just now. But if he can play Sadat before I play Muslim Revolution, I'd boot him out the Middle East again, solidly. And with Tunisia mine now, that is not good for him. So he's going to try realigning Venezuela. Oh, well. Okay. So I'll get arms race. Shame about South America. I've got Allende though, still got a gateway. Okay, so he's spacing away. Right, I need to remember he's headline peaking, so no more DEFCON droppers. I'll space duck and cover. not going to space this year, so Star Wars is a problem, but obviously Star Wars is a problem I can space later on. Yeah, so... Okay, so... Now I give him Japan. I'm not happy about it. Do I do that? Liberation theory is attractive when I've not scored. So I'm actually going to hold off Japan just now. But I simply can't play OAS. Brezhnev, maybe next headline. See whether I can space a one-op card. Have more luck that way. We'll put 2 in there. He's already got a coup target after all. So I can live with that. I'm going to play US-Japan to pump South Korea. And I'm going to say, you need to play a 3-op card to get both of these. If he doesn't play strong enough, I use Muslim Revolution on South Korea instead of Libya. If he does play the 3-op card, which he does, I think I still event Muslim Revolution and make him play Sadat. Because that's a 3VP swing for me. He doesn't have a way back in, though, so he tries to break Asia for domination there. Pakistan and South Korea and India are all soft. That may not have been great. If I draw Yasuri, I mean, he draws Yasuri. Okay, standard. So, 5-year planning OAS to finish is always nice. I could salt. If I wished. So what's going to happen? Turn 6, he may play grain sales, or how I learned to do DEFCON shenanigans. We know he's still got Sadat. Spacing bear trap's the most attractive thing this turn. I can't really hold Brezhnev, that's the thing. So it seems like a good time to play Brezhnev and get the ops. So, we will play Brezhnev. I can't offer him the coup, so he may get Asia scoring. Yeah, it can. So Brezhnev, and obviously the DEFCON dropping potential is an issue too. So we'll headline Brezhnev. He sees that. Gives him an opportunity to play Asia scoring uncontested. So he goes with Sadat. So that's my coup, which is good for me, because I know a 4-op coup is going to clear him out. Yep. That's fine. And OPEC's obviously worth 4. If he wants Venezuela now, he can have it. Obviously, my primary objective will be shoring up Asia before he scores it. He should have waited until after the AR1 coup, really. Obviously, if he fails to take Venezuela, I focus on that first. Southeast Asia scoring has to come out shortly as well. I could even push for control, I suppose, but that's kind of a singular focus. If he takes Venezuela, I put 1 in North Korea and 3 in Saudi. Obviously, Camp David Accords is still to come, so I've got to watch out for that. So he's going to pop it into Saudi or ice, okay. Let's keep the pressure up in the Middle East. Yeah, I've got to kind of defend against colonial rearguards, but I'm going to have to play it, which means I give them Nigeria. I want an AR7 5-year plan OAS to get maximum ops. Obviously, if he doesn't play Camp David, I pump Israel. I feel like because he headlined Sudan and puppet government to Lebanon, he's probably holding Middle Eastern scoring. He's also holding OPEC, which makes him queasy. No, not that one. So he's got to play a 4-up card if he wants Saudi or Israel. I'd probably play colonial rearguards here and don't bother shoring up in any way. Just keep pushing this. He'll put 1 into Zimbabwe here and hope to realign Zaire, but there's a lot of work to be done there. Turn 7 will be interesting. I mean, if Africa, Southeast Asia and South America come out, and Europe, oh boy, there's quite a lot of work to be done, actually. I mean, it can easily still swing his way, and I've got to watch out for headline peaking, which makes my life a lot harder. So 1 in Nigeria, 1 in Thailand because he's got 1 in Zimbabwe to try and realign. Okay, and he's using that as entries. Okay, so Camp David comes out. Arab-Israeli war is no longer playable. So 1 into Jordan, 1 into Israel. I'm running out of steam, obviously, and he probably knows that. So it's a question of what else he's holding. If he's holding multiple scoring cards, so the gamble, it's worth a lot of points. I'm going to give up the China card. It's only worth 3 VP. No, I'm going to space Bear Trap. If he's got Middle East scoring, kudos, and then I'll 5-year plan OAS. Okay. So, I can use that to take control of the Middle East. And control is worth 2 points to his 3 for presence, which is entirely livable with. So let's do that. Oh no, sorry. Whoa, 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 whoa. Middle East scoring. I expect to see. Your headline stood out. No, Asia scoring. Brilliant. Okay, so scoring that at neutral is lucky for me. So, South America's a problem, but I got grain sales and VOA, which is lovely. I do want to play the China card and give Nixon for 2 VP. A shit ton of scoring cards, which is gross. I mean, that's blah, blah, blah. Central America scoring. It's not great, but obviously with Voice of America gone, it could be worse. If he's got Junta, I look like a mug. So do I play Southeast Asia scoring? Then hold on to Central America. Why not? Land. Alright, so space. Grain sales. Hold VOA. I want to play China card before Nixon. So he's asked Notting a bunch, so Middle East scoring. So well done him. So I will coup Venezuela. China card and hope for a big coup. It's big! Ask not, what a nightmare. I lose decol and Middle Eastern scoring. So he'll go straight back to Venezuela. Please miss. Oh. So he's been brushing the hell out of me. So I've got to play South America for domination for him. It's a bummer. That ditching of Middle East control is a monster score for him. I'm in all sorts of trouble now. Middle East would have made it interesting, but I think America's kind of got it sewn up here. Lone gunman, if he drew it, would be great. I need to Iranian hostage crisis in terrorism. He's not going to play in. Oh, he's got Junta as well. Christ. So realign. Pow. No change. Right. Okay. So I've got to give him South America scoring. So the question now is, can I get to the end of the game? Because Africa's going to score at domination unless I get something fancy done here. Europe's not looking good with blockade gone. I am in a lot of trouble. Okay. Central America scoring for 1 VP. I'll space grain sales. I'll play a mitt to break Jordan, because I do not want to lose Lone Gunman. That may be my only hope. And he's holding the China card, so, you know, he's got buffer. Well, he played Arsenal for kind of the second best reason. Ditching Lone Gunman is 1. I've now got to watch out for War Games and Salt still in the deck, and Star Wars because he's ahead. I'm guessing he has got Alliance for Progress because he's still pumping South America. So that's currently worth 5 VP to him. If he gets that and Europe or Africa scoring, the game's over. So this one probably isn't going to go the distance. Welcome feedback, in case I've done anything too stupid. I did bounce the China card around a lot. Yeah. Okay, I didn't lose 6 at least. So now I cue Zimbabwe, and hope not for a 1. Perfect. Shore up against that. Don't want to lose control of Africa. I'll space grain cells, because obviously if I see Solidarity go first, that could be worse. Hey! Probably not going to make a world of difference at this point. Okay, so he pumps Asia, which is good for Asia scoring. I can use D-style to shore that up. I at least get salt, but I don't see war games. Tear down this wall is the DEFCON risk. I can use an intervention that. I can play one small step at some point to get to headline peaking if I space something else. Voice of America, I guess. Let's start with D-style, because that is the natural way of shoring up Asia. But Europe's going to score. Decal's not a total delight. I could salt and brush war. Because DEFCON's a bigger risk. Oh, great. Great. So now I'm under purge as well. I have to use UN intervention on Voice of America. Do I gamble on him having war games? I mean, at this point, I'm going to play Europe scoring anyway, so losing to war games is no worse. And that levels up Africa scoring because of country count, but if he's got war games, game's over anyway. So that suggests, because there's no instant GG, he does not have war games. He has other things to be doing with his time. So at this point, especially under purge, what I'm really interested in doing is trying to live out okay. I'll let him try and realign me at 2-1 for starters. So now I one small step to stop headline peaking, which might make all the difference in turns 9 and 10 if I make it that far. Boy, doesn't stop. Europe's currently scoring 5 for 18. So salting and a 1/3 brush war in Italy. He tries the 2-1, he gets 1, he doesn't get the other. I want brush war. I pray for Italy. Obviously, I play Thatcher the Betrayer as well for a coup. So 5 brush Europe. Hold John Paul. Fine. Do I start with brush war? What have I got to lose? I want to drop DEFCON. But where am I going to coup? How big is Thailand? Under salt as well. Ha! Rubbish. Okay, so I'll take brush war. 1 in 3. Boo! Okay. The jig is up. That would have prolonged the agony, but now Europe's scoring 5. And if I play Thatcher the Betrayer, he gets 1 for 19. So any VP card in his hand ends the game. So that'll be that. Hope you had fun watching. Do feedback. These kitchen debates isn't going to hurt me. So we pop 1 into West Germany and hope he's not paying attention. He may get excited and realign Argentina and Nigeria first. And even if he's paying attention to that, maybe he doesn't coup and I get Milops, but, you know, either way. So I really want realignment here. I want him to not pay attention to dabbing West Germany and for him to think, oh, well, clear out Argentina and Nigeria. Because I've got lots of realignments I can do. He is almost certainly not that stupid. Alas, he is not. Okay, so Europe scores and the game is on the edge. Any VP card ends the game right here. Okay, so I get full VP from the Milops, but he gets to flip Asia. And discard a card. He discards Quag. Salt's gone. But I don't see War Games. I do get OPEC, which scores 5, which brings it down to 10. And OPEC's the natural opener here. So he's going to try and break Asia 2. 50-50. Fails. So. I mean, I still need to hope for Iranian hostage crisis and terrorism and stuff. So I'm going to have to hold the China card for now. And I do at least get a nice strong coup. So he's going to try and coup back. So I get the last coup. Africa's not scored yet. Oh, lordy. So, with Europe scored, Pershing is fine. Nice big coup. Come on, big money, no whammies. Stop. That is okay, but not great. War Games ends the game. But again, there's not a lot I can do about that. And I don't have many other routes to victory. And there it is. Okay. Thanks for watching. Yeah, happy to get feedback. I know dropping DEFCON to 2 was a risk there, but Africa's scoring domination. I don't have any other routes to VP victory. Terrorism's gone, so I can't shorten his hand. I didn't get Aldrich. I might make it into turn 10, I suppose, by the skin of my teeth. But he's going to drop DEFCON if I don't. So, and I've got no way of raising it. So there you go. So thank you for watching. I'll chat for a little while, but I'm away. Thank you again, and I'll see you later.